this thing?
Ah,
Okay, we're live. We're
we are
live.
live.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Thank you for joining Carrie and I today. Really appreciate you coming on. How you doing, Carrie?
I am doing great, Dave. I had a fun day with my brother. He's also low carb slash ketovore. And we went out today, went to some used book and record stores, and I found some good stuff. And then we went and had steak and eggs at a Mexican restaurant that we go to. So yes, I played hooky from work today. I didn't play hooky. I asked for it off, but it's been a great day, Dave. How about you? How
Oh,
are you
nice.
doing?
I'm doing really well. My day is just starting though. It's
Yeah.
only 9 o'clock in the morning here, so yeah, I'm gearing up for a nice day. It's nice and warm outside, so I might go out and get some sun. Yeah. So Jeannie, how you doing?
Yes.
Good to see you. And we've also got Lynn coming in from Hillsboro, Oregon.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
Hey, how you doing,
All
Dark
right,
Carnivore?
Charlie.
How are you? Okay. So, guys, as you come in, please let us know where you're coming in from. Say hello. Hey, Jay. Hey, Cordelia. And yeah, let us know where you're coming in from. And do us a massive favor, whose ever channel you're watching on right now, please smash the like button as you come in. That'll help bring more people in and we can get a better discussion going. Okay, and Maria coming in from Emporia, Kansas. Okay, nice. Um, chilly Brisbane. Jeannie, what's the temperature there? I wish I could get some of that chilliness over here. It's just a little bit too much on the Bernie side here already. I've already got the air conditioning on.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
same here.
yeah.
Been in like the um, upper 90s and lower, like around between, like, say 95 and 100 here the last few
Oh,
days. It's
wow.
been pretty hot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah, definitely. I get the feeling. I don't know, how's it been in the States with the summer as far as starting? It feels like it's starting quite late here. Has it been the same there or?
It's I think it started about the same time here.
Oh,
But I mean, we go from winter to humid, hot and humid. I mean, it's just like you just wake up one day and it's hot summer.
yeah. It tends to be like that here as well, but like usually we're kind of mid-June, it's getting really humid, and it's only just really started in earnest at the beginning of July. And it makes me feel like, oh, it's gonna be a really, really long, late summer here. So yeah.
Oh, it's so good
Um,
to see everybody.
yeah, lots of people coming in. So guys,
Yay.
if you've got any questions for us, please chuck a Q in front of the question, and that'll help me to kind of sort it out. And 19 degrees. Oh, that's cool. Um, okay, so Carrie, you were talking before about before you came online. You were talking about a little kind of a survey medical thing that you'd done. Did you want to talk about that?
Yes, we have an incentive program through work, and I did not sign up for it initially when they offered it. And basically, what it is you perform certain tasks, like you might go for your physical, you might commit to talk with a health coach, just activities like that. And when you do, you get a little bit of monetary compensation. So they actually called me, and the woman was nice and everything, and I thought, well, yeah, if I do all these things, I get around $250. And I'm like, well, I could use that. So okay, I'll participate. So she gave me a link to this thing called the Real Age Survey. And I knew right away when I started answering questions, I was like, oh man, this is all that typical, you know, healthy whole grains, vegetables, just all that stuff. And it did occur to me to fudge it. But then I was like, no, I'm going to tell the truth about what I eat and tell the truth about my cholesterol and just all of that stuff. And so I did. And so I am 58 in real life, but my real age is apparently 62. And I've got it here. The reasons, it says making you older. It says get your cholesterol down, have some fruit, eat your veggies, expand your diet, eat more grains, and go easy on the red meat. So, yes, my diet has made me older, folks. Even though I feel better than I ever have, I am
That's
apparently 4 years older than I really am, than I chronologically am. Yeah.
I'd be scared to take that. I think I'd probably be rated at 320 years old. So we've got a comment here from Jeannie in response to the survey.
I love it.
Bollocks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jay says, thanks, Carrie, for being honest. So the thing that kind of frustrates me about those surveys so much is like it's the same as talking to a doctor. They never consider any context at all. It's just cholesterol high, bad. You know,
Eat meat,
and yeah,
bad.
yeah, meat bad, cholesterol bad, eggs bad. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I mean, you remember the 80s and 90s with the egg white omelets and stuff. You
Oh,
know,
yes, I do remember
um,
that.
so like it and they will those recommendations they've given you will successfully get your cholesterol down, but it'll also make you rounder, and it'll also make your skin worse, and it'll also make all these inflammatory problems like be present that were never there before, you know? It's yeah,
And make you
all in the name
diabetic.
of yeah, all in the name of getting your cholesterol down. A
Exactly.
natural
And here's the
process.
thing, they didn't ask about things like fasting insulin, which mine is 3.8. They didn't ask if I'd had a coronary artery calcium scan, which mine is 0. That's right, with that high pushing 200 LDL and my pushing, 300 total cholesterol, and like, oh, I'm going to have a heart attack and die, but yet my CAC score is 0. It just,
Mm,
there is so much wrong with the way we're evaluated for our health.
definitely. Yeah. So we've got a few comments in relation to this here, but just before we go into it, let me just say, Rose, thank you so much for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Um, so we've got a question here from Mary. She says, hi, Dave and Carrie. Mary from Minnesota. I'm 60 years old. I seem to be crying a lot in the last few months. How do I naturally regulate my hormones? Love your videos. Um, I've got one question just before we go any further. How long have you been on carnivore? If it's carnivore, I'd be interested to know that. But Carrie, have you had any experience with this kind of thing, like crying a lot, or?
No, I haven't. Now, I will be honest and say that I have been on the proper human diet spectrum since 2014. So I was already basically ketovore in December of 2022 when I went carnivore. So I had pretty much, in other words, I didn't have any side effects or anything as a result. Like some people get the keto flu, or maybe they'll get a rash or just have fatigue and other symptoms. And I
Mm,
have not experienced that. I
mm,
will say that Dr. Berry sometimes will have questions similar to this, and I have heard him answer that in that, to just have your hormones checked, because your hormones can And I know we want to naturally regulate that, and the proper human diet certainly helps with all of that, but you still may need just a little bit of help with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just from my experience, I would say, um, and I know hormonally men and women could be quite different, but just my experience, the reason I asked when did you start is because when I first started carnivore, maybe it was in month two, um, I experienced really severe mood swings, and it was just like it would go from, kind of feeling upset, like almost ready to cry, to you know, outright aggression, or, like little tiny things that shouldn't upset me, making me really upset. And so I I would also think if you're just getting started, then it could be something to do with your body's just adjusting, because that stopped for me, and I've heard other people have experienced kind of mood swings early on. But if you've been on it for a while and you're experiencing that, then maybe it may be something different. But yeah, just keep in mind that a lot of people do experience some mood swings early on, which could be related
Mm.
to hormones.
Yeah, and it's just your body is adjusting, and you're receiving the nutrition that you've needed in many cases all your life. You know, you've been starving yourself of these things, and so your body is waking up, and it's kind of like just trying to start and stop. You know, it's just getting into its rhythm. It's like, oh, what's this? And what's happening? And sometimes it overcorrects, and then all of a sudden you're one way and then you're another. So like I said, I personally have not had these issues, but I know that I've heard these things addressed by Dr. Berry and other doctors. And
Hmm.
I can tell you, though, that I feel better than I ever have. I mean, even just being keto and ketovore just helped me tremendously. But then carnivore was just that last little tweak. That was the last thing that I needed. And it's just amazing. And but just get started any way you can. But for sure, your
Mm.
body will just need time to adjust.
Yeah. Just some follow-ups from that. I started carnivore a month and a half ago and was crying so much and still want to cry because all the losses in my life from poisoning my body was sad. Yeah. Um,
Mhm.
and I missed the other one. Okay. And also, carnivore caveman Tim. I had aggression issues early on as well. At 58, I actually got in a fight. Oh wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't go that far, but it could have. It could have, because it just like weird. If someone had cut in front of me in line or something, that's the kind of, and then it was like aggression. Really, it was hair trigger kind of thing. It was pretty
Mhm.
bad. Yeah. And also some other advice. Check out Dr. Elizabeth Bright. Says Sharon. She can help with hormone questions. Yeah.
Mm.
Nice.
That's a
Um,
good suggestion.
yeah. Okay. Aid, I'm here for 30 minutes. Hey
Hey,
Aid, how you doing? Okay. So questions from Jeannie. If you were both forced to eat a bad food, what would you pick? What would you pick, Carrie?
I already know potatoes. They
Potatoes.
don't affect me really bad, but I just know they're not good for me because they do spike my glucose. I don't get any bad side effects from them. So yeah, if I was forced to eat a bad food, it would be potatoes. And I happen
Um,
to love them, which
it,
doesn't hurt.
I think I'd have to go for something much worse than that if I was forced to pick something bad. If it's bad, I'd have to go really bad. So I'd probably, what would I do? I don't know. I've kind of lost my taste for everything. I think I'd go for maybe, all right, I'd gorge on a packet of Tim Tams. How's that?
And for those of us who don't know, what are Tim Tams?
Tim Tams are like a rectangle biscuit covered in chocolate, and it's usually got chocolate inside, and they've got all
Oh,
sorts of different flavors, like rich cherry and caramel and all that kind of thing.
ooh.
Um, yeah, but basically, the thing about this kind of biscuit or cookie is like it's rectangular shape and there's chocolate in the middle, and it's a very Australian thing to do. But what a lot of people do is they have it with coffee, and they use it because it's got that soft chocolate in the middle. They use it as a straw to suck their coffee through. It's
Oh.
yeah.
Well, I could
So
have Oreos and lower my cholesterol at the same time.
that's right.
I could do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But having said that, like thinking about the Tim Tams, it just doesn't have the same feeling that it used
Mm-mm.
to. It doesn't feel like 5 years ago, if I thought about a Tim, or even 2.5 years ago, if I thought about a Tim Tam, the thought that would be on my mind for the next hour or 2 hours or whatever would be, I've got to go out and buy those Tim Tams. And now it's just like there's no feeling at all. It's like when you
Mhm.
finally get over that ex in high school, you finally get over the girlfriend or the boyfriend that dumped you, and you just got no feeling for them, and you start to feel like, why did I ever care about them? It's the same kind of thing with food, I feel.
Mhm. I believe so because, like, I don't eat potatoes anymore. I haven't had them. I did have some sweet potatoes at no, it was Thanksgiving, and I think I ate a few too many, and so that just turned me off from them. So at Christmas, I didn't even have any. So,
Mm,
I mean, I just don't want potatoes in. I mean, I suppose if I could eat them without ramifications, maybe it wouldn't be too hard to go back to it. But I don't think about, oh, I need some potatoes, or if I'm
mm,
around, I just don't eat them.
yeah. And the thing is also, it's like I think we're more in tune with our bodies as far as we know it's going to taste good for that split second, but then it's the ramifications and the feeling of the bloating and stuff like that that follows eating the bad stuff. And
Hmm.
yeah, that kind of that also keeps you away from it. Yeah. Elizabeth, Dave, how long before the mood swings stopped? Maybe a couple of weeks. It's hard to remember exactly, but yeah, it's probably a couple of weeks. It was long enough for me to start going, what's wrong with me? Do I need to, and I was thinking, do I need to stop eating this way? Is this like a problem for me? Like, is this? And then it started to go away. So yeah,
That's
it was
reassuring,
about two
though.
weeks.
I mean, that it was a shorter period of time, that it wasn't just long and drawn out.
Yeah, if it had been much longer, I'm pretty sure I would have stopped it. I would have gone back to the Tim Tams. um, so because it was just, yeah, it was too much, to like such little things getting on my nerves. It was weird. So yeah, if it had gone on for probably a month or so, I would have stopped, I think. Yeah. Um, Gail is asking, have you heard of regular grocery store meat departments adding food coloring to their meat to make them look more attractive?
I have not
Wow.
heard of that.
Wow. I hadn't heard of that, but I heard about something else that I don't know if it's grocery stores or the producers themselves or whatever, but like pumping some kind of gas into ground meat to make it look more voluminous or something. It's like
Hmm.
it's quite scary when you think what they can do to food.
Well,
But
and
yeah, I haven't
that's
heard
more
about
of a
coloring.
reason, I think, for people to, if you possibly can, to find a farmer that you can get,
Mm,
somebody that you can get to know and trust, and buy your food from someone that's not, I don't know, like mass producing.
mm,
Just, that's a good point, that's a good reason to do that. And I'm working on it. I'm working on getting me a box freezer. I'm cleaning out a storeroom and I'm going to get a box freezer. And I think my daughter and I are going to go in half on a cow. So I just got to
Oh,
get
nice.
that storeroom cleaned out, though. That's the trick. Haul a bunch of
Mm.
stuff to the dump.
Nice. So Jeannie says, I knew Carrie would say that. I guess that's in relation to the potatoes, yeah?
Yes.
So just to follow on from Jeannie's question, for the people in the chat, if you were forced to eat a bad food on your carnivore journey, your carnivore journey, if you were forced to eat a bad food, what is it that you would choose? I'm interested. I'll flash them up on the
Yeah.
screen. Let us know. Okay, so Cherie says pasta.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Got anyone else in there? Not yet.
Mhm.
Yeah. So oh, Jeannie says mine would be cheesecake.
Ah,
Yeah, cheesecake. Pickles.
ah. I think
Bread
there
and
could be
pasta.
worse things to eat than pickles, but
Hmm. Yeah, I guess on a carnivore diet, pickles are, probably one of the least bad things you could eat, right?
I would think so, but I'm not an expert.
Yeah. Charlie says cheese fries.
Woo!
And Sharon, Texas Roadhouse rolls with cinnamon sugar butter. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I remember those.
Gail's got a sweet potato. Yeah.
Yeah, I like sweet potatoes too.
Oh wow. Megan, my choices were pasta, twisties, and fruit. Oh wow, twisties. I'd forgotten. Do you have twisties in the States?
Are they like kind of like ropes of candy with the twist around? We have something called Twizzlers, but I'm not sure I know what a
Okay.
twisty is.
It's like a potato chip, but yeah,
Oh,
it's like twisted around like that. So it's like I guess it's got the same kind of um texture as a Cheeto or something like that. Like it's got that orange kind of flaky stuff on it. Or there's two flavors. There's like a cheese one, I think it's cheese, and chicken.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. We have something that looks like that, but I don't think they're called twisties. I think they're called something else.
Okay. Uh, BLT on sourdough. Oh, cherry pie.
Oh.
Wow. Peanut butter cup blizzard with chocolate ice cream. Oh my goodness.
From Dairy Queen. Yeah.
Watermelon, ice cream, and chocolate. Oh my goodness. Can't go wrong with a double scoop of Cold Stone ice cream topped with cookie dough, a brownie, and peanut butter. Oh my goodness. Oh
No
my goodness.
heavens. I would drop dead. I would collapse. Yeah, sugar overdose for sure.
Yeah.
My body wouldn't know what happened.
Yeah. I'd just be shaking. Yeah.
Well, first I'd be all
Bread and
hyper
peanut
and
butter.
then I would like crash and
Hmm.
then I'd feel terrible.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the richest, creamiest ice cream. Yeah. And peaches. Wow. But like after all that, there's still nothing better than a bowl of ground beef with egg on top. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah.
Or a good steak and
Charlie said,
eggs. Ah,
Charlie says, I think this discussion is spiking my insulin.
it might be.
Nice. Um, yeah, guys. So if you've got any questions, please let us know what the questions are. Put a Q in front of the question, and I'll get to that. Um, Carrie, what is a typical day like for you as far as carnival goes? Are you like one meal?
Generally, it's two. Sometimes it is
Mm.
one. My breakfast is kind of like late in the day or late in the morning rather. And generally it consists of like a ground beef bowl with egg. Sounds a lot like what you have, Dave. And then for dinner, it might be, burger patties with bacon. Sometimes I'll have hard boiled eggs. I kind of mix it up a little bit, but and sometimes I'll have a steak. I might have a ribeye or something like that. But honestly, I eat ground beef mostly, either in a burger patty or just the ground beef in a bowl with, and just adding some uh, bacon, maybe some either hard boiled egg or just cook like a sunny side up egg. I love my eggs sunny side up, and then I'll just, flop about 3 or 4 sunny side up eggs in there and just like mix it up and
Oh,
eat that.
nice.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
good. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I love a steak, but there's nothing when you're at home, there's nothing quite like just a nice warm bowl of ground beef. It's really, really nice, really simple, kind
Hmm.
of yeah.
And I
It's
meal prep it too. So, like, I cook a lot of stuff in advance because, quite honestly, I can get really lazy after a day of work.
mm,
And my days tend to be long. So, I'll cook up burger patties. I'll go ahead and cook up some ground beef. I'll make some hard boiled eggs. I'll go ahead and cook up bacon, and I'll just have all this stuff there. And then that way, I'm just prepared. And I know that
mm,
it's probably better well, it is better, truthfully, when you eat it freshly cooked. But still, to make sure that I'm, eating the way I need to, it is just so much better for me to just go ahead and just cook it up, because it would be very easy for me to either not eat, which is what I don't want to do, or to possibly order something somewhere that is just not as optimal for me.
mm. And Aid's saying here, note, ground beef mince is really lots of mini steaks all close together. So enjoy your steak. Cheers, Aid.
Exactly. That's right.
Nice. Um, so I've also heard one of the things about ground beef is because it's kind of all the bits of the cow, it's good for things like collagen and stuff like that as well, because you might be eating parts of the cow that you wouldn't normally get if you're eating regular cuts of steak.
Hmm. I've
Mm,
heard that
mm,
too.
yeah. Oh, and Stanley's just loaded a thick ribeye into the air fryer. Finally
Mm.
taken the plunge. I've finally taken the plunge. I ordered an air fryer that's going to be delivered today.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So I'm finally gonna give it a go. So I'm looking forward to that. Here we go. Marnie says Carney. Marnie Carney. Marnie says Carrie is looking younger every time I see her.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, Marnie. I appreciate that. That feels better after hearing that I'm really 62.
Nice. So Megan's got a question. Any tips for how to manage hunger when you are out and about? I find it hard to find things to buy if I get hungry and I'm not at home. Hmm. How would you handle that, Carrie?
Well, like, for example, if you're looking at, like, say you're on a trip or something and you stop at, say, a gas station or something like that, or like a BJ's. Now, BJ's is like one of those large truck stop type places, where the people who drive the rigs, long haul truckers go, and they have like brisket and things like that you can get. And it's very carnivore friendly. They also have the boiled eggs in a packet. And you can, at a gas station, I will typically just get a gas station hot dog if I'm out, and that's where I end up stopping. And I mean, I stay away from most of the beef sticks and stuff because they just have too many, like, they'll have ingredients that really don't belong in a beef stick, in my opinion. So if I don't find a beef stick that's worthy, then I'll just get a gas station hot dog or two and eat that, is what
Hmm.
I'll do. Or if I'm close to a fast food restaurant, the McDonald's quarter pound burger patties are really good. to get. And my daughter and I have been known to stop and just get some patties like that. And Wendy's here in the States also has really high quality patties that you can get.
Yeah. For me, yeah, McDonald's is the good one. Like the quarter pounder patties, are really satiating. They're
Hmm.
really, really good. When you're in a bind. But for me, I now that I'm really used to eating this way, if I have like that one meal in the morning, I'm good for the rest of the day. Like I can kind of get away with being stuck somewhere, I don't know, out at an event or out in the middle of nowhere, walking in a park or whatever it happens to be, and not worry about the hunger. As long as I know the next day I'm going to be able to eat something, I'll be fine. But at the start, it wasn't like that for me. And at the start, I would just, before I went out, I would just make sure I loaded up on something, whether that's bacon or boiled eggs or whatever. Just keep something in the fridge that you can eat just to make sure, okay, I'm eating now. I'm going to feel full as I'm walking out the door. So it's going to be, a good number of hours before I'm even thinking about food again. Um, so yeah, but over time, I think that gets a little bit better. I have heard of some people like they'll cook bacon and they'll put that in their handbag or take that with them somehow or
I've
whatever.
done
But
that.
that always kind of reminds me. I don't know if you watch Seinfeld, Carrie, but
Yes.
it reminds me of the Seinfeld episode where Jerry's like he doesn't want to eat his lamb and he's putting his lamb into a napkin and puts it into his coat, and then Elaine ends up wearing the coat and she's running down the street being chased by
The
dogs at the end
dogs.
of the yeah. So I always think if you're carrying bacon with you, what happens? Will the dogs start chasing you? But yeah,
Yeah, the dogs might get a whiff of that.
yeah. Hey Sandra, how you doing?
Hey.
Okay, so what's this one here? Uh, Lucaria. I have found that I can't do OMAD with my hormonal issues, at least not month round. Still learning about it, but I have time fasting with my hormonal cycle to manage my PCOS. Yeah. So I guess there are hormonal considerations there. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, okay. Uh, Wendy's gave me an upset stomach.
Hmm.
Hey Julia, how you doing? Yeah. Um, I've heard so like I'm pretty sure McDonald's doesn't use seed oils in their cooking because I worked at McDonald's when I was 15 years old and they didn't use anything at all. Like the meat just the grill is seasoned at the beginning of the day or the end of the night, and then the meat just cooks in its own juices. Is that pretty much the same for Wendy's and places like that too?
I don't know. And honestly, I've only gotten Wendy's patties like a couple times. The ones that are closest to me, uh, or the ones that I've just more frequently done that with, is either McDonald's, and I'll tell you, Dairy Queen charbroils their hamburgers. So if you just get patties from them, I mean, it's not cooked in any oils. It's charbroiled, with flames.
Oh,
So it's cooked
nice.
on a flame grill. And let's see, I'm trying to think. Burger King, I believe they cook theirs in a similar way, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken. And
okay.
Burger King's burger patties are delicious, like just
Right.
the Whopper patties by themselves. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
and I've
nice.
gotten that a couple of times.
So when I hear Dairy Queen, I associate that with ice cream. They
It
do other
is.
stuff too.
Yeah, they do. They have burgers and fries. I don't think,
Oh,
and I
okay.
think they have hot dogs too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. All right. Golf Addict, thank you very much for the super chat. I am 1 week into the carnivore diet and I was very skeptical. Well, I'm now sold into it. Lost 9 pounds and my knee pain went from a 10 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10.
Woo,
Congratulations. That's awesome.
huzzah! Yeah,
Nice work.
that's great.
And that's like a week in. Can you
Mhm.
imagine what it's gonna be like 90 days in? That's awesome. Yeah, really, congratulations, and again, thank you for the super chat. Um, so we just hit 100 people in the live stream before. Um, so thank you very much for being here, guys. If you could do us a favor, whoever's channel you're on at the moment, if you could smash the like button, that'll help bring more people in as well. It'd be good to get us over 100 during the stream. Um, okay. And Aid is eating 2 lamb chops, then I have to go. I have 2 T-bones, which need my care and attention.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay. Oh, here's an interesting question from Tesfaye. What is lacking in a carnivore diet? Is it perfect? Hmm. Interesting. What are
Well,
your thoughts,
meat
Carrie?
has a whole lot more. Well, meat has all the nutrients we need in it, which is not commonly known, but it is true. And I know that some people are concerned, for example, about vitamin C, and there is vitamin C in meat. There's not a large amount. However, since we are not eating carbs and sugar, what happens is the sugar, the glucose competes with vitamin C to get, for your cells to pick up. So when you're not eating the carbs and the sugar, then all of your vitamin C just goes in there. And so it's believed, and I've heard Dr. Berry talk about this, that you need less vitamin C. But yes, all of your vitamins and nutrients are in the meat, and they are in a way that we can absorb them. Because
Mm,
yes, vegetables have some things in them that some supposedly have all these different vitamins and phytonutrients and just all this stuff, but us being able to digest them or convert them into what they would be, what we could use, it's very difficult, and some people just can't convert at all.
mm,
So
mm,
yes, if you eat good fatty meat, of course, most people swear by beef, but then you can eat other types of meat. You can eat pork, and you can eat like pork belly, and get that has a lot of fat in it. Of course, bacon has a lot of fat. So the trick is we have been conditioned to eat. If we eat meat, we cut all the fat off, or we find the
mm,
cuts that have the least amount of fat in them. If we just eat the meat that comes on there, and maybe even add a little bit more butter or something if we feel the need, especially if you're eating chicken, you might need to add a little something to it. But you get all the fats along with that meat, you will get everything that you need. You
mm,
might need to supplement with some electrolytes, depending on, some people swear that they don't need them. Other people do. They, feel like they need them. I have electrolytes periodically. Sometimes I'll just kind of know and kind of crave them. So I do keep some electrolytes. And the daily minerals, our soil has been depleted. And so the daily minerals are just a something that really everybody needs. I mean, regardless of diet. So, I mean, even if you were eating a vegan or a vegetarian diet or whatever, you would need you would possibly need electrolytes, and you would need the daily minerals, like what Dr. Berry
mm,
talks about.
mm. I think also one of the keys to knowing whether the diet is kind of perfect, if it has all the vitamins that you need, is really look around at the carnivore community. We're constantly told we need vitamin C or we'll get scurvy. Well, how many carnivores have scurvy? How many ex carnivores do you ever see making videos saying, "Watch out for this dangerous diet. You're going to get scurvy." There's no one. Um, and I think also the comments on videos are often the testament to that.
Mhm.
Um, so if you read through the comments on the videos, and no one's talking about all the vitamin deficiencies they suddenly have. Everyone's talking about how much better they feel and how many autoimmune conditions have gone away and that kind of thing. So I think that's kind of that's kind of the, I don't know, the advertisement or whatever for the fact that, yeah, meat does contain all the things you need. And I don't know, I can't remember who said it, whether it's Dr. Chafee or Dr. Berry or Professor K or whoever, but so one of them always says meat contains all the vitamins that you need and nothing that you don't. And yeah, I think that's a nice way of summing it up. Yeah. Okay. Where are we? Where are we? Yeah, we're getting McDonald's does not use seed oil. Yeah. Okay. And Aid says in Australia, the McDonald's lunch meat patties are 100% beef and beef fat with salt and pepper. They contain no seed oils, sugar, nor carbs.
Mhm.
The breakfast sausage patties are full of those poisons. Yeah, I never really trusted the breakfast ones. Yeah. Even I'm a bit suspect about the bacon they use as well. Okay. And Sandra says, Wendy's used to get me sick many years ago, but now that's the only burger patty that I like. I do like Burger King patties too. They broil their patties too. Nice. Wow, we've started a fast food discussion. We've gone from talking about chocolate and ice cream and stuff to talking about fast food.
Where to go?
Yeah.
Where to go in a
I do.
pinch?
I'm really behind in these comments. I've got to see if there's any questions here. And Sandra says, I don't eat pork. It's higher in omega-6, which causes inflammation. For me, pork and chicken are a no. I quite enjoy the taste of pork, but I am concerned about the omega-6s. But for me, the one thing that's completely gone out the window is chicken. I'm just not interested in chicken at
I don't
all.
eat
How are you
chicken
with
much
chicken?
either.
Yeah. But I was always the thing with me is I was always a person that only ate the chicken breast. And then I think once you start eating more flavorful, fatty foods, and then going to chicken breast is like, yeah,
Oh, I
it's
know.
like
It's so yucky. My
turkey,
brother and I were actually talking about that. It's just chicken just doesn't have that oomph to it, or well, it's lacking the fat, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing you come close to getting the fat on is the drumstick, but the rest of the chicken is just too, I
Mm,
don't know, it's just dry and like almost tasteless.
yeah. And I've never been fond of chicken skin because I'm a bit of a texture eater, and the chicken
Ah,
skin is
yeah.
just, yeah, yeah. Aid says, cheers all, love you all, take care and be kind to your meat. I wish you all good health and prosperity. 7 days without beef makes 1 week.
That it does. Cheers,
Indeed.
Aid.
Cheers. Um, and there we go. Susie says 2.5 years carnivore, still no scurvy.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Golf Addict says, I take the Element and the Redmond electrolytes. We love them.
Mhm.
Watermelon is yummy. Just ordered the variety packs in both brands. See what other flavors pique my interest. Do you use Element, Carrie?
I do. I don't use it
Mm.
every day. Now, I did yesterday. We went to Independence Day celebration. We were celebrating the 4th of July / Independence Day here in the States. And so we drove to a little town. Oh, it was a wonderful day. But the parade, and to watch the parade, and it was so hot though. So I made sure that I took my water and had my electrolytes. And so in situations like that, or if I'm out getting some exercise and in the heat, then I know I need those and I need to replenish. And then some days, even if I'm not exercising a whole lot, I just kind of feel like I need them, but I don't take them every day. Now, I do the
Mm.
daily minerals, however.
Mm. Yeah. For me, I tried Element once, and just after I tried it, they sent me a little card that said, "Oh, sorry, we're not shipping internationally anymore." So it's like,
Oh,
yeah. So now I
again?
just mix them myself. Yeah. Um, Okay, Charlie, are there carnivore foods either of you don't moderate well on? Anything you don't moderate well on, Carrie?
I don't really, matter of fact, I think I probably need to eat more, to be honest. So I really haven't. I presume, like, yeah, like either of you don't moderate well on, meaning that you eat too much of it. And I can't think of anything that I eat too much of. Um, like I said, I
Hmm.
probably just need to eat more, to be honest. What about you, Dave?
Um, yeah, I don't moderate. If cheese is a carnivore food, I don't moderate well on cheese. Yeah, so that's something that is kind of is better off not being eaten because once I start, I don't. It's hard to
Mm.
stop. And butter as well. Like I can eat that and eat that and eat that until my body says, "You've eaten way too much butter, buddy." But
You
it's always too
know,
late.
I do that too with butter. Like sometimes, once in a while, I just feel this like craving, and I'll just grab a stick of butter out of the refrigerator and just, open it up and just take a big old bite out of it. And I can sit and eat like a whole stick of butter. I mean, not all the time, but I mean, once in a while I can. But I'm just thinking that's just my body needing it, wanting something that's in it. I don't really see that as like a moderation issue with it. I guess because I don't eat it like that every day. Like I will put butter on things, but I don't
Hmm.
like just grab a stick every day and eat on it. But I have been known to do that.
Yeah, yeah. For me, I think, yeah, it might be my personality, but yeah, I just see it sitting there. It looks so nice, and I just go, oh, I could just slice a
Yeah.
bit off, and then it's like I could just slice another bit off, and I could just slice another, and oh, the packet's gone.
It's like we're out of butter, honey.
Yeah. Um. So Tim's asking, what's the difference between lard, tallow, and bacon fat? Oh,
Well, that's a good question.
so lard is from pork, right?
Yes. And then
And
tallow is
tallow is
from
from cow.
beef.
Yeah. But I'm not sure like how you differentiate bacon, like because bacon is from pork, right? So like
Hmm. So it's
I'm not
just that
sure.
the bacon and lard are from, or pork, and then tallow is from cows. And
Hmm.
I really don't know that there's much difference in the fat composition. That I could not tell you, but I like all
Hmm.
of them.
Yeah. Um, for me though, I think cooking in tallow is the best. I think that things just seem to have the best flavor after cooking in
Hmm.
tallow. Yeah. Okay, do we have any more questions? Oh, here we go. Hannah, have either of you had to deal with keto rash? I haven't. How about you, Carrie?
In retrospect, I may have. Um, I had like this, like this redness. It wasn't necessarily a rash exactly, but it was kind of a red splotchiness on my chest. And I didn't even think about associating it with diet or anything like that. And then it went away. So that could have been keto rash, but I can't
Mm,
fully say that that's what it was
mm,
because I can't really 100% place it in the timeline, like when I went keto versus, or even, yeah, I can't really place it for sure.
mm. And Julia says, eggs gave me a rash on the inside of my feet. Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Wow. So the I mean that's good you could identify that so you can get that out of your diet. But that's actually one of the great things about carnivore is you're eating such a small variety of things. It's much easier to identify when there is a problem, what caused it, right?
Hmm. Oh, yeah,
Mm,
you know it right away what caused it. And
mm,
I've also heard, I know I quote Dr. Berry, but gosh, he's a wealth of information. But I've heard him say that if you have a sensitivity to eggs, to try two things. One, don't eat the white. and just eat the yolk, and two, get like farm fresh eggs. Find like,
Right.
maybe some Amish or, a farm somewhere to purchase farm fresh eggs, and then try
Mm.
those. That there is a difference. Personally, I've never had eggs bother me like that, but I will cycle through where for a few days I won't eat eggs. It's like I won't even want any in any form, and
Mm.
then I'll just go back to eating them again.
Nice. So Simpson, I'm like Dave. Cheese is too addictive. I tend to overeat if available. Yeah. Um. Yeah. When I've whoa, where did that go? All for Jesus. When I have rash, as soon as I drink tea, it goes away. That's
Hmm.
interesting. I wonder if that's somewhat related to oxalates.
It could be
Mm.
because I've heard like if you have oxalate dumping and then you consume like a small amount of something with oxalates in it, that it tones that dumping down.
Mm.
But I don't know enough about oxalate dumping. I watched that Sally Norton, I think her name is. I have watched a couple of interviews with her, and she talks about various phases and causes and things that you can do to help that. So if you do have a problem with oxalate dumping, I would recommend you watch her.
Mm. Yeah. Jack. Hey, Jack. How you doing? Dave, you just had an interview in the last 2 weeks I watched where the interviewer took care of oxalate dumping rash with some topical cream. Forget he used something like bicarb cream. Yeah, I've forgotten the name, but yeah, just while we're talking, I'll put the link to that interview in the chat just so you can see it. Um, Let me find it. Sorry, this will just take me a second to find. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so anyone's experiencing a rash, it might be worth watching this interview. Okay. All right, golf addict. This first week, I only have had two, maybe three bowel movements. Is that normal? Um, yeah, well, the thing about the bowel movements is you your body doesn't have as much waste to get rid of as it did before. I'm remembering this is only your first week, right? And you've had two or three. Potentially, it's going to get less than that
Mm-hmm.
as you go forward.
That's
I
right.
spoke to someone 2 days ago, and it's like his kind of regularity these days about once every 12 days.
Yep.
And
I saw
it's
that.
basically, when you think about it, you eat nutrient dense food, and your body can use most of that food to power it and to get all the nutrition it needs. So there's not going to be much waste, and so that's the reason that the bowel movements are more infrequent. Yeah.
Mhm. And there's a difference between frequency and constipation, which a lot of people don't realize that, constipation just means that you need to go and can't. So, like, you feel it, but you just can't do it. Whereas frequency is you only have the urge every so often. And so then you can go in and do it without any problems. So there is a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. Mike says, "I'm almost ready for my interview. Lol, had to work out the kinks. Now I'm Carnivore Master Yoda. Awesome. See you
Woo!
soon, Mike. Um, Golf addict. I did learn the hard way. Never trust a fart. Lol.
Oh, I've
Well,
heard people say that. Yeah.
yeah. So that's the nice thing about carnivore. The more you get into carnivore, the more you will be at the less frequent the farts will be, and the more you'll be able to trust them. You know.
Yes.
The yeah. I've been there too. um. Okay, Julia. Lion diet now: beef, bison, lamb, salt, bacon once in a while. Feel awesome, and the emphysema is healing. Awesome.
Woo!
That's
Huzzah!
great. That's really good, Julia. Um, okay. So here we go. DS111. I certainly do not miss having bloating and gas, and sometimes a panic situation to find a toilet.
Mhm.
Now it's every 3 to 4 days. Yeah, there is nothing worse than that panic situation to find a bathroom, especially when you're stuck in a situation you can't get out of. Like you're in a meeting or something, and it's like, I can't leave this meeting. This meeting's going to go on for 2 hours. And even if I could, I'd have to run around and find a bathroom. That it's awful. Yeah. Don't miss that. Yeah. Okay. What else we got here? Oh, got a question here from Jesse. What can I do about dizziness? Oh. Um, Carrie, did you want to?
Well, I think it depends on what's causing it, and you, of course, there may be things that you need to look into before you can really find out what is causing it. Like, for example, are your maybe you need electrolytes. Maybe you're not eating enough, and especially there are a lot of us who were conditioned with all that portion control and that kind of thing that you're just not getting enough food. It could be an inner ear issue that you might need to get checked out by your doctor. So there could be any number of causes. So just maybe ruling some things out, kind of doing a little bit of investigative work to just see if you can, try some things like maybe try some electrolytes, try maybe eating a little bit more, maybe, getting your ears checked to see if, there could be some kind of an issue there.
Yeah. Well, well, brought the wrong one up there. And Jack is just saying, sounds like an early adopter, likely needs electrolyte supplementation for the onboarding or go low carb before dropping down to carnivore. Yeah. And Christine is also, I had a lot of dizziness, but I think it's caused by my meds. So I looked up side effects and they all included dizziness. Yeah.
Good point.
Mm-mm.
Very good point. And if you're taking some medications and you're, I think like maybe some diabetic medications, you have to be very careful because you could be like your sugar could be dropping too low or blood pressure. Your blood pressure could be dropping too low, and you may need to work with your doctor to reduce the amount of blood pressure medication that you're taking.
Mm. So just on the just on the bowel movements, I had the nature golf addict. I had the nature call on the 12th hole of the golf course. Was not fun. Funny as hell, but all worked out. I just hope that 12th hole has not been compromised.
Oh man. Yeah, yeah, there might be some additional meaning there.
Yeah, the next person that gets a hole in one might get some blowback. That's
They just might.
yeah. Meet more. I went from candy cake cookies to carnivore. Took 12 days of depression and hell to finally come out the other side. Yeah.
Mm,
Oh wow. But congratulations in getting through that. Wow. And yeah, it is so worth it. Yeah,
it is.
definitely. Yeah. So we're almost at the top of the hour. And we have 132 people in the chat. So
Oh,
just
wonderful.
as we finish up, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's been with us in the chat. Thanks for your conversations. Thanks for staying with us. Really appreciate it. Carrie, did you have any final words?
I would just like to encourage people to don't feel like you have to jump in to carnivore right away. I mean, some people do. The just make some small incremental changes at first and just work your way, and don't be too hard on yourself. If you do have a slip up, don't let it ruin it. Just keep on going. And there are plenty of people here in the carnivore community that will provide love and support for you. So if you feel like you need to just vent or whatever, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm sure Dave, and many people in the carnivore community, but you can do it, and it is hard. It can be very difficult. So just keep trying, keep going, and know that you have love and support from us.
Yeah, well said. And just take it a day at a time. Whether you're getting started or whether you're falling off the wagon and getting back on, just take it a day at a time and you'll get there. Thanks very much for joining us, guys. Really appreciate it. See you
Yeah,
next
thank
time.
you, everybody. Bye bye. Everybody have
Bye.